a bottle, let your body waddle.
Crack a bottle.
Body waddle.
What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and today we are here with week number 7 against Hank the Pidgey and the Winnipeg Aqua. So if you're excited, smash that thumbs up button. If you're new to the city, hit that subscribe button, and let's hop right on in and talk teams really quick. So, my team this week, I am bringing Sableye, Jolteon, Feraligatr, Clefable, Chandelure, and Skarmory. There was a lot of threat that I found between both the Mega Pinsir and the Sashed Ape, as he likes to bring, because let's be honest, my team doesn't really have much to do as in means of, you know, a Sash Pokemon like Infernape that just hits so hard. It hits so hard, it sets up rocks. Even if you bring it down to the Sash, it can still get a Blaze, Overheat, Flamethrower off, whatever it wants to do. So it's absolutely menacing. So Sableye is going to be our special defensive wall. Skarmory is going to be our defensive wall. We've got Choice Specs Jolteon on the field. We have the Life Orb Sheer Force Feraligatr. I brought a sub DD Dance set this week, so hopefully if I could catch him on a switch, set up a sub and pop a D Dance, we can pull off a good little sweep in here with Kamina the Feraligatr. We've got Clefable, who is carrying the Magic Guard Life Orb, Moonblast, Thunderwave, Fire Blast, and Soft Boiled. We have the Choice Scarf Chandelure, who in my opinion is is the MVP of the Detroit Steel Wings. Choice Scarf Chandelure, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Energy Ball, and Shadow Ball. And then we've got our, like I said, our super defensive Skarmory, who is there. He's got the Rocky Helmet. We've got Stealth Rock, Whirlwind, Roost, and Brave Bird, just for that hard-hitting stab move. Looking at Hank's team, he's bringing the Magneton, he's bringing the Sharpedo, the Excadrill, the Infernape, the Mega Pinsir, and the Umbreon. So I definitely predicted him to lead off with, well, let's hop right on in. Let's start watching this before we, you know, start talking about plans and whatnot. I definitely, looking over his team, looking over his past battles, I definitely anticipated him to lead off with the Infernape, which, come to find out, he actually leads off with the Umbreon, so it's kind of good for us. I don't know what this thing wants to do, so I'm going to go for a taunt just in case he wants to set up curses on me and baton pass it out. So he does fall for the taunt, and he was going to actually baton pass straight out into something, so he's going to withdraw Umbreon. Here's where I'm thinking I'm going to knock off him whenever comes in. He actually goes out into that Sashed Ape that I was so very afraid of. So we get the knockoff on the Infernape. It's not going to do a lot, as you can see. But we do knock off the Sash. Either way, we broke the Sash. So here I'm thinking he's going to go for Stealth Rock, so I'm going to taunt him again. I'm not letting him get those rocks up. He actually just U-turns straight out. As you can see, it does about 20% at most. And he's going to U-turn out into the Magneton. Now here's where I'm like, crap, what does this thing want to do to me? So I'm assuming it's an Eviolite Magneton. So I go for a knockoff here. He's just going to Volt Switch back out. He's going to keep trying to turn hitting. He's going to test my Sableye here to see how many hits he can take, what he's made of. So he actually turns back out into the Infernape. So I just go for the knockoff here. Figured it was the safest bet to go for. Lefty's recovery on the Sableye, as always. And now Infernape's down to about 75% after 2 knockoffs. So again, I don't want him to get rocks up. I know I can take a hit, so I go for the taunt on this thing. And he actually goes for a Fire Blast here, and he misses. That was crucial, because that Fire Blast we would not have lived. We would not have lived that, especially defensive invested as we are. You know, that thing's a huge threat. So he's just going to go for the U-turn now that he revealed the Fire Blast. He doesn't want me to predict anything based on that. So he U-turns out, brings us down to about 40-45%. And here I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to knock off whatever comes in. Goes out into the Mega Pinsir. I get the knockoff here. You know, it is what it is. Obviously, we're not knocking off a Mega Stone by any means, so we're at about 45%. I really want to Willow this thing. I really want to Willow this thing, but I'm torn between whether I should taunt to prevent a Swords Dance or if I should go for Willow. I go for a Will-O-Wisp. He actually has Quick Attack. He's going to out-prioritize my Prankster, and down goes Heartless. So right now we're at 6-5 to the Winnipeg Aqua. I'm going to go on to Joshua here, and I wanted to just nail this thing right where it stands, so I go for a Volt Switch. He predicted that move, goes out into the Excadrill. We are carrying Hidden Power Rock on the Jolteon for the Mega Pinsir. So I want to go for the Volt Switch here. Now I'm thinking to myself, what wants to take this choiced Earthquake? Either way, he's going to go for an Earthquake of some sort. So I'm going to go out into Kirby, and he actually double backs out of Excadrill. And he goes out into the Magneton. Now, with the Clefable, I can get a Fire Blast off. He's going to Volt Switch. Now here I'm thinking, should I have gone for a Stab Moonblast on something? Should I have gone for a Fire Blast? What should we do here? So he's going to go Bound, and he's going to go back out in Excadrill. So here I am thinking, what can I do? Excadrill breaks the mold. I want to go for a Fire Blast, and we do connect the Fire Blast. So we are going to be able to get a huge amount of damage off on that Excadrill. I don't know. I believe I ran calcs. He should not have lived that if he had no special defense investment, so let's see. He goes for an Iron Head, so Kirby goes down to the Iron Head. So now it is a 6-4 to the Winnipeg Aqua Jets. We're going to go out into Zetterberg because we resisted Stab. If he is Choice, he does have to switch out. He's going to withdraw the Excadrill like I anticipated. I'm going to go for Rocks here. So he's got the Magneton. He's probably got Magnet Pull on that thing. So I take my time for Stealth Rocks, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, does this thing carry HP Fire? What does this thing want to do to me? He goes straight up for a T-Bolt. It's not, you know, it's not resisted by any means. Brings us down to our Sturdy. So we are going to be able to Whirlwind this thing out just in case he's got the Magnet Pull. We can get some recurring Rocks damage off him whenever he wants to come in. So Umbreon actually comes out. So now he needs to get Rocks damage on the Umbreon. He wants to get these Rocks away because Rocks are a huge threat to Mega Pinsir, especially now that it's Mega Evolved. It's going to do 50% damage. So it's a huge threat to him. He's going to withdraw the Umbreon, and he's going to go back out into the Excadrill. And the Excadrill's already really low. Excadrill's already going to take Rocks damage. At this point here, hindsight's 2020 obviously, at this point here, I should have went for the Brave Bird on whatever came in, sacked off the Skarmory to take this thing out so we can keep Rocks up. But I do end up roosting up here, and he is actually going to go for a Rapid Spin. Now that's going to do absolutely nothing to us, and the Rocky Helmet damage is going to do a lot more to him than he does to us, which is good news for us, but he does unfortunately get the stones away. If this thing is Scarfed, like I anticipate it is, I want to get it out of here, so I Brave Bird. I'm going to sack off the Skarmory. I'm going to get this thing out of here. He does have a lot of setup potential on his team, but I felt it was better to get the Choice Scarfed Excadrill out of the way at the cost to our Skarmory, because that Magneton's going to come in, and that Magneton's going to put in the work against us. So he goes for a T-Bolt. I don't know if he would have went for another move predicting it, but Thunderbolt's probably the safest play in his opinion. I don't have anything on my team that resists it. So we go out into Joshua, the Jolteon. Now at this point, poor play number one. I should have went out on the Jolteon to take the Thunderbolt. Now I'm going for Choice Specs Discharges. Magneton actually carries Hidden Power Ground, so he is a bulkier set. I anticipate the Eviolite. That Hidden Power Ground brings us down to about 2/3. I go for the Discharge again. Sacking on my Jolteon this way, probably not the best way of going about the battle, but as I've said all video, hindsight is 2020. It is a learning process in my opinion. So Hidden Power Ground is going to take us out. So down goes the Jolteon, which I feel could have been our win condition against the Mega Pinsir. So we're going to go out here into Spooky. Spooky's our Choice Scarf Chandelure. We're going to go for Fire Blast. We do connect Fire Blast, so Magneton is going to go down. Good news for us. So now we're coming back, kinda. I believe it's 3-4 right now. He goes out into Sharpedo to try and scare me out because nothing on his team really has an answer. I've ran enough calcs to know that Fire Blast is going to pretty much knock out the Sharpedo. So I go for another Fire Blast here. He doesn't scare me out. He double backs out into the Infernape. That Fire Blast brings the Infernape down to about 20%. I'm going to go for another Fire Blast here. It's going to connect again, and we're going to take the Infernape out with that. So that being said, now that there's another big threat out of my way in my opinion, because Infernape has just such potential. It can be a physical attacker, special attacker. It can be both. It can be bulky. Sharpedo's going to go for the Protect here. So he's going to be able to get that speed boost off. We're choiced in the Fire Blast. We're going to keep lighting him off, see what we can do. Speed boost is going to come off, and that's super unfortunate for us because now he does outspeed. He can get that crunch off. Not a good situation for us. So now what we have left is we have Feraligatr. We've got Feraligatr with the ability to set up in some way, if we can. If we can. So now here, Kamina comes out. We've got a +2 Sharpedo on the field. I want to take this turn to set up a sub, so hopefully in some way be able to get off a nice D-Dance. So Crunch goes off, that does that. Now, hindsight's 2020, I believe it would have been, somebody else can quote me on this in the comment section and actually, you know, enlighten me, but I believe if we would not have subbed up and we would have went for just a Waterfall, we would have knocked out the Sharpedo, and we also would have been able to take a quick attack from Mega Pinsir, possibly. Somebody can run a calc for me and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But here was another way that we could have brought our differential down a little bit less. So we go for the Sheer Force Life Orb Waterfall. It is resisted, but we're also a huge, huge threat as far as our offensive powers go. And Sharpedo's a frail fish, so out's going to come to Mega Pinsir. Now here, I clicked Ice Punch just for whatever reason. You know, Arceus looking down on me, maybe it would have done something. But that is going to be a 2-0 victory to Hank the Pidgey and the Winnipeg Aqua Jets. So, Hank, thank you so much for a wonderful battle. As always, you're an incredible battler. If you guys are not following him on Twitter, if you guys are not checking out his YouTube channel, be sure to check that out. It's going to be in the description below, as well as the link to the GBA Twitter, the GBA YouTube. Check those guys out. Subscribe to them. Follow them on Twitter for all the latest announcements in the GBA. We do have some big announcements coming soon. The link to all the coaches' YouTube channels will be down there below. All that being said, guys, if you have enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new to the city, hit that subscribe button, because next week in Week 8, we're going up against John, a.k.a. Pokemon, and the New Orleans Pelipers. So all that being said, guys, my name is CrimsonCBAD, and I will talk to you all soon. Later.